Hi, I'm Lynne Tapper, and I'm one of the co-owners of Imagine Float. And I'm here to just spend a little time telling you a little bit about myself so you can get to know me a little bit better. My favorite color is blue. Wearing a blue shirt, blue's always been my favorite color. Tried to have an accent color, it's always been a shade of blue. So I guess it's not a surprise that our logo is blue, the Imagine Float logo is blue, and the colors in the space are blue. I want to share with you 5 songs in my playlist. I actually had to look at my playlist to see what the 5 songs are. I don't listen to music that much. I really do prefer the quiet, but occasionally when I go running, I listen to music. So right now, the songs on my playlist haven't changed much lately. Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. In the Blood and Changing by John Mayer. Have It All by Jason Mraz. And Better Place by Rachel Platten. Those are the songs that motivate me when I'm running right now. My guilty pleasure for food. I have a lot of guilty pleasures for food, but right now, my favorite food that I let myself have occasionally is blueberry muffin or blueberry scone. I just love the combination of the soft, the sweet, and the crunch. So that's my go-to guilty pleasure. 3 things you may or may not know about me. I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. I just don't like the taste or the flavor. And I know, how do you know if you've never had a cup of coffee? But I just don't really like the taste of coffee. I don't even love going into coffee shops. But it's not a healthy thing. And I've been able to survive without caffeine. Another thing you may or may not know about me is that I lived in New York City for 12 years, from my mid-20s to my mid-30s, and I loved it, loved the hustle and bustle, loved the culture, loved the food. But now I appreciate living a little bit slower pace in Connecticut and like being outdoors a lot more. So I like to visit the city, but I like living here. And another thing you may or may not know is in 2009, from 2009 and 2000 to 2012, over the course of 4 years, I had 5 different surgeries. And for someone who's an athlete, who really lives in her body, that was really hard for me. But it forced me to slow down and appreciate how good health can really help in the healing process. And it reminded me not to take my body for granted, and that it's really important that we take care of our bodies. We only have one, and that there are lots of ways to heal from different kinds of surgeries and traumas that we have, physically and emotionally. So I think these experiences did help plant the seed for all the services that we offer and the space that we created at Imagine Float. Some surgeries are necessary, and medicine is necessary, but sometimes there's some other options that can really help. So I do think over time that did help plant the seed for everything that we offer at Imagine Float. The biggest challenge in opening Imagine Float, to me, is not the obvious one, which is the amount of time that is taken over the last year or 2, but more getting me to feel comfortable not knowing something. Not everything has a roadmap, not everything is very obvious, and it's taken me a while to learn that I need to ask the right questions, I need to talk to a lot of people, I need to do some research, and come up with an answer that I feel comfortable and confident about moving forward, and even becoming an expert in that. And that's been really hard for me, but once I get to the other side, it's also been incredibly rewarding, as well as being quite a challenge. One of the greatest rewards, I would say the greatest reward of opening Imagine Float, has been getting to know all of you. Being part of your health and wellness journey has been a true honor, and I hope will continue to be over time. I look forward to getting to know more of you and being a part of that journey. My favorite service at Imagine Float is floating. Well, I do love all of them, and they all offer different things for me at different times based on what I'm looking for, from relaxation to recovery. Being able to be in this space and be zero gravity in the physical benefits of floating is what drew me to floating in the first place. Again, being an athlete, someone who uses her body a lot, I do need to take time out and rest is part of training. So while the physical benefits are really important, I also really, really appreciate the time out and the quiet and the peace and the solitude. Not able to find that anywhere else than in a float room. Thank you for taking the time to get to know me.